Hello class, Dr. Jones again. I'd like to take just a few minutes and cover some of the points that the PowerPoint made in the study guide that I hope that you have viewed. And I hope that you viewed the PowerPoint or the presentation that I made on leadership and the characteristics of leadership. And I hope that you've had an opportunity to study those with your class and to go over them. And we'll refer to them in this particular video as we go through the different elements. First of all is about the forms of power. Positional power, legitimate power, is that power that you hold because of the position that you're in. Maybe you're an executive, an owner, a CEO, a CFO, you're the head of the company, or you hold a very high position. And in doing so, that gives you legitimate power because people look to you because of the position that you hold. Maybe not for any other reason, but for that position title. And you have to be very careful with that because a lot of individuals will think certain things about you, certain attributes that they will give you because you are the leader, because you hold that legitimate power. So you have to be very careful in this position because individuals are going to be looking to you for answers. They're going to be looking to you for vision, for wisdom, for knowledge, for integrity, for all of those things we described as leader. As a holder of a position, it's going to be very important that you use that power for the right purpose. The next power that was discussed is reward power. Reward power is more of a transformational leadership style that you can use to encourage your employees to do more, cause greater cohesion between a team, or just build relationships with your fellow workers and your teammates and your fellow executives even. Many executives go on retreats, and that's kind of reward just for their commitment to the job, their commitment to doing what is right. A lot of times companies will have banquets, they will have get-togethers, cookouts, parties, they will give out financial bonuses, they will give extra time off. All of these are reward power and are very important part of the tool chest of a leader to understand when and how to use reward power along with that positional power they have. Because most people in those positions also have the authority to give rewards to their individuals, so they can use reward power as a very powerful tool in their tool chest. Cohesive power is a little different. Cohesive power is that authority that you have as a leader to discipline your employees, whether that be with written warnings, all the way up to where you have to terminate someone. Now this power needs to be used sparingly, I believe. I believe that leaders should treat their employees in such a way, set expectations and goals in such a way, lead and guide them in such a way, and cast a vision in such a way that employees know if they're doing a good job. If an employee gets a surprise during an annual review that they didn't know they weren't doing their job well, then I believe you as a leader have not done your job by keeping them informed of their work, if they're meeting the expectations. That's an important part of being a leader, is making sure that your team knows where they stand at all times. But that coercive power is used by many leaders to say, if you don't make this a goal, you're going to be demoted, you're going to be financially impacted, or you may even be terminated. That coercive power can make employees do things, but it does not build respect. It does not enhance your integrity. All those characteristics that we talked about earlier can be hindered and harmed by using exclusively cohesive power. Expert power, that is that wisdom and knowledge that we talked about earlier that you as a leader have. You need to make absolutely sure that you know what you know, and more importantly, you know what you don't know. As a leader, most individuals don't know everything. but they know about everything. They know what's going on in the organization. And if they are a true leader with that positional power, that legitimate power they hire excellent employees that have particular skills to do a job. If you had a fleet of automobiles, you would want to hire an expert mechanic, because that individual knows more about cars than maybe you do, and how to keep them maintained and how to repair them. Well, leaders must have that same expert power in leadership, how to lead a team, how to do those high level tasks that builds trust and respect, because the individual teams that are working for you understand that you have knowledge that is capable of making wise decisions for the company and for their team. So please make sure that if you are the leader of an organization, that you have some expert power, expert knowledge that goes along with your position. Because if you're backed off and you don't learn more about your organization and able to offer some expert opinion at times, individuals are going to feel like that maybe you're not involved, maybe you're not part of the team, maybe you're out for different motives, and you're going to lose the benefits of having that expert power. And then last one was reverent power. The referent power that you have comes from all those characteristics that we described in the video about the characteristics of leadership. And leadership is a privilege. All of those things can cause people to draw to you. They can cause to want to work for you. I had a supervisor one time that all of those characteristics, he displayed them all the time. And it made me want to work harder for him than for the company that I worked for. And if I disappointed him, it was a great hurt to me, because I knew that I had let him down. I also knew that I let myself down, because I knew that I was better than that. And for whatever reason, I did not meet his goal or my own internal expectation. So all of these forms of power are very important to a leader. And a leader should be able to call upon any of these forms of leadership and forms of power at any given moment. That goes back to that wisdom, to know when to use something and when to refrain from using it. Now, a lot of times when companies struggle, whether it be in sales or performance or whatever the case may be, leaders need to look in that tool chest they have of these different types of power and know which one to call upon at the right time. Sometimes it needs to be that coercive power, that tell that one individual, if you can't perform at the level that we need for you to, maybe we need to change your position and find someone that can. Now, that may seem negative, but sometimes change is what needs to happen. And maybe someone may not be as happy in a position as you think they are, or they think they are. I recall in my own experience at Walmart, moving individuals from one area to the next because maybe that just had outgrown them. Maybe the sales had grown up. Maybe the individuals that report to them have moved up so great that they were just not capable of handling it. And many times I would have to have those sidewalk conversations with individuals and say, hey, it's time that you did something different. Now, did they like it? No, they did not. But most of those individuals come back to me in a few weeks or a month and would say, Elwin, I am so thankful that you moved me. I didn't realize how miserable I was. And thank you for doing it. I didn't like it at the time. I hated you at the time. But right now, I understand why you made the decision, and you made that decision in my best interest. So I used that coercive power in moving them, but they realized that it was the referent power that I was actually using, trying to be compassionate for them and helping them be successful in another position. So as you talk about this particular video and these forms of power, please take a few minutes, work with your tutor, and talk about which of these forms of power that you display the most often, and which one do you think is your best form of power that you use. So I appreciate you listening. Discuss this within your group. I hope that you will just take the time to work through this, and I hope that you've learned something in this short video. Well, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon.